And let's not try and get away too far away from the main content of the day, the meat on the bones, as they say. We're going to we're gonna send the message over to Zell and see if he wants to see if he can call up. He was dealing with some internet issues earlier, so hopefully he's not dealing with those anymore. Let's see if he's gonna. Let's see if he's. Oh, here we go. Hello, Zell. Can you hear me? Hold on 1 second. I can't hear you. I might need to adjust the audio here a little bit. Stream, can you guys hear Zell? You guys can't? Okay, let me adjust this a little bit here. Discord. I'm going to look into this a little bit more. Their voice and video.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Headphone output is what I needed. That's how I have the headphones. Can the stream hear you now? Zell, can you sound off a bit?
Hello. Can you hear me, boys?
Can you hear me knocking?
Spicy. Dark mayonnaise.
Okay, are you guys at a good volume, or should I turn Zell up a little bit more? March, should I turn him up a little bit? Let's pump him up a bit. That spicy voice, that sultry baritone. Up a tiny. Okay, got it now. But I think I'm ready. So Zell, if you want to take a minute, you can introduce yourself and maybe introduce your content and what you are providing to the stream, what it normally is about, you know.
Yep, sure. So I am Zelonius. I have been a FIFA pro for 4 years now. But the way I got into it was because I was a top 100 player and people told me I should stream and help people get better at the game. I used to be a teacher, but I quit that to become a pro player. My content, I don't know if you've said much about Pug, but it's all about helping people get better at the game. I do lots of YouTube videos about that. People said I should do coaching, and now I've probably coached for, I think the last 3 years, I've probably coached near 500 different people. I was a pro player and a coach for Roma's esports team last year. Had 2 pro players who, before COVID, would have been in line to make the World Championships for FIFA.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
and then the links I'm going to put in the chat right now: twitch.tv/Zelonius92. That's his Twitch channel chat. I'm putting that in the chat right now. Make sure you follow that. And then gamers class. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the team I represent right now, a gamers class. They're a Danish company who basically, they're in a few different esports, but yeah, for FIFA, me and Jambu.
Yeah, well, I'm in your stream a lot, so yeah, I'm familiar. But if you explain it to the chat, maybe that would help too.
Yeah, me and Jambu are pro players and coaches for gamers class. They have like a membership that's dedicated to getting better at FIFA. Yeah, it's all about getting better at FIFA. They've got it for different games. We're actually launching the gamers class coaching platform next week. Actually, funnily enough, good timing. That's going live. I think it might even be Saturday. I don't know. I'm not sure the exact date yet.
Okay,
but
and that's gamers class with a Z chat. I'm gonna put that link in the chat now too. Gamers class with a Z, and then just regular class. The Twitter link I'm gonna put in the chat for them.
Yeah, gamers class. We're launching the coaching platform. You can pick your coach. I'll be on there. There's a variety of different prices and different people, and then I'll show you retweet it actually today. Pug, appreciate that. That they do like documentary courses, what we call them masterclasses. that are like specialized in-depth content you can't see on YouTube, where it's like my course is like 4.5 hours of in-depth FIFA knowledge, stuff that I've never put on YouTube before. It's like, I mean, in the UK we have Sky Sports. I guess in America it's like ESPN, that Fox Sports, all that. It's like that level of production, high quality equipment to provide like documentary courses to help people improve at the game. There's a lot of different stuff, but yeah, I think a few people in the stream, I recognize some names, might have seen a coaching session before. But basically, I asked Pug to provide me with at least 2 games that you've played. We will analyze them together. I'll share my screen now so you can start getting that.
Yeah, okay.
On Discord now, can you see that screen?
I can. Yep. I'm gonna go into OBS right now and see if I can
Yeah, you can full screen it. You can full screen it in Discord, so it's got the full window capture.
Okay. Move my OBS over here then, and then I can just use the chat over on this other window. And we can just go to the monitor capture. We can just do monitor.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So it's gonna look a little bit awkward because this is ripped from my Twitch VOD. Or this was recorded while I was streaming. So there will be 2 cameras in the corner, so it'll look a little bit weird like that. But the one below is me. Hello everybody. And then but I'm ready to go when you are, Zell.
Yeah, sure. Do you know about, I don't know if you know this, just quick one. If you ever want to record something on stream in OBS, you can do something where you right click, like it's called selective recording, and you can tell it not to record something. So you can tell it not to record a webcam or something like that.
Oh, no way. Okay, cool. No, I didn't know
I
that.
only found that out. I only found that out a few weeks ago, but it's quite useful for stuff like this. But
Dude,
yeah,
this stuff has got so much. It's got so just a little. I don't know if you've looked through the videos, but Zell, I lost both on pens, and I still clutched up Elite 3.
I do the games raw generally. I go into
so
it.
I lost both games on pens. So at the bare minimum, I'm looking for pen insight. You know what I mean? Because I haven't won a pen shootout in it's got to be like 4 weeks.
Okay, well, I mean, there is. I'm not going to bullshit you. There's quite a bit of luck involved in penalties, but there is some element of skill to it and tips I can give for that. You can see the screen here. So I did actually have a quick look at the first game. The person you matched, Night Vision's actually someone I've known in FIFA for a few years. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, he's a subscriber too. We had a huge kerfuffle after this game because I generally try and I don't like to match up with people from the stream, and he knows that. And he was trying to say that, what am I supposed to do, be in your stream? And it got blown up into a huge thing. So yeah, it was a very, very high stress game.
You should put your camera over the camera on Discord.
Okay. 1 second then. Let me adjust.
Yeah,
it's gonna take a couple seconds.
Yeah, that's fine. Whilst you do that, you can just click Control and you can group all the things at the same time. You can move everything at once. Yeah, if you press Control and click everything, you can move it all at the same time. Yeah, whilst you're moving, I'll just explain it a bit. A coaching session, generally, the way it works is that someone sends me 2 games. I will analyze the games live on a Discord call like this. So I'm sharing my screen with Bugzilla. You guys can see that as well. I will go through the game. I'll point out good things. It's not just going to be me beating you up for an hour. I'll say the good stuff you do. I'll obviously point out the mistakes you make. I'll say what I would recommend to do. And then I've got a little pen software where you can see this. It should come up on the Discord, all that type of stuff. Yeah, there you go.
All right, I think I got the stuff out of the way now.
Yeah, it's good. If you have any questions as well, Pug, while we're going through it, if the chat do, related to this, then feel free to ask. I can hear myself a little bit. I don't know if I'm a bit loud in the headphones.
Well, I've got you playing through my I'll turn down the speaker.
Yeah.
I love the freedom of not having a headphones on, so I always have my audio coming through the speakers.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I normally record these sessions for the person who I'm doing the coaching for, but since you're streaming it and you're gonna have it on past broadcast, there's probably not much point. Yeah, is that all right?
I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Zelonius. Thank you, Fullstang. And his other links and stuff, Fullstang, if you can sporadically put them in the chat. I shared some of them, and they're also on his Twitter and stuff too.
Yeah, thanks. Have you got any questions before we get into it?
Over a year. You like me.
Is there anything you want
really
me to
like me.
answer before we actually get into
Shout out
it?
Sean Ranklin and big ups Liquid Richard.
Thank you, Top, for the Twitch Prime. Not really. No, I'm just curious to see your insight onto my gameplay. That's all. I'm an open book, Zell. I just want to see what your feedback is.
Cool, sounds good. I have your Twitch chat open, so if there's any like questions that the chat have specifically for me, at least related to this gameplay and stuff, then feel that I'll answer them as we go along. Okay, so pretty good team your match there.
Yeah, I think he subs off Sadorf right away. Prime Sadorf is a chem mule. That's a sign of a high level team, I think.
You like me. You really like me.
I call him Say Dwarf. I don't think he's the best. He's as good as he should be on FIFA. Okay, so the first thing I'd say there is, like, I'll say it straight away. I don't want to make you a boring player, and I don't want to discourage tricks altogether. But the tricks you do end up putting you under pressure where he could have tackled you straight away. So, like, tricks are good, and it's definitely good to have some in your locker. But in this position, you've done needless tricks that nearly end up losing the ball, and we don't want to give. I'm assuming you know about kickoff boosts and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, again, they're needless tricks, these step overs. He could have very easily tackled you there. Like, if you did those step overs into me, I'd have pressed L1 and instantly tackled you. The step overs aren't very good anymore either. At the start of FIFA, they were maybe the most broken trick on the game.
But I'm not going to lie, that was probably an accident. I don't even know what I did there.
There you go.
That now the heel chop I do consistently. And I lost the ball there. So, yeah.
The heel to heel is pretty good, but where you do it here, there's a big space around De Bruyne, like that. There's the closest player. Maybe it's 5 yards. There's not really much point in doing this trick here because the main reasons to do tricks are either to beat a man, to change the angle, and after that, there's not really a lot of point. And you're not beating a man or changing the angle here. All you do is slow yourself down, allow him more time. And then when you do that there, it takes heavier touch and it just puts you into a position where you can't really do a trick or adjust. So that trick's another one that's a bit pointless. Here would be a good position to do a trick like a La Croqueta, a fake shot. Obviously, you don't have 5-star skills, but the tricks kind of push you into a worse position and he's allowed to step in. Okay, yeah, that was good. You got a bit lucky to get the ball back with Mbappe, but to get in there was good. Normally, I wouldn't say shoot first time, but I think on this game, if you didn't shoot first time there, the Blanc probably steps in and tackles you or blocks it, so it was worth doing.
Oh, and he's gyrating as well? Oh my god. Oh, he's on the grabbing? Oh dear. Yeah, it's always nice to get that first goal before they even touch the ball. Or like, because that frustrates the hell out of the guy.
Yeah, he lost the ball pretty unlucky, to be honest. Okay, so I think there's an element of kickoff where his players are probably getting a bit more space, I guess. But here, one of the things that's really strong on this game is through balls and pace. So here, you can see Cruyff's kind of already angling here. This through ball here, if it had gone there like it should have, he probably scores. But luckily for you, it goes that way. Obviously, you can't really control which way it goes, but he did play the pass right. You needed to switch there and cover it a bit quicker. Keep movement, it's fine. Puts people off a bit. Okay, so here, it's fine until this point, and then here, you overcommit that way. I guess Diatta's right-footed, so you've committed completely to Diatta's right foot. But the problem is here, you overcommit to allow him to quickly turn there. I do think there's an element, again, of the kickoff where he just gets more space than he should. But there, once he's turned you, you maybe could have pressed L1.
Yeah.
Are you PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
Okay, LB then. You maybe could have pressed LB to quickly step in, but the mistake here is just in overcommitting.
Yeah, he turned on a dime, and I thought Rio had space to cover, but like Look at where Rio
Yeah,
ends up. He almost comes in to make the challenge, but Diatta turns and basically stands still. And like, I got
it's
spun
one of
there.
these where it's hard to say if that happens outside of kickoff. Rio should do better, but I'm sure you'd agree that here with Vieira,
Yeah,
you overcommit.
definitely.
You don't need to go there. You're basically going there. And if you'd have stayed here, you cover there. And if he goes on to the right, you still cover there. That
Yeah,
makes sense?
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that would have made sense. Yeah.
You've completely covered the right, ways you could have covered both, really, because you've got a lot of help with you. You just need to not dive in. And when you overcommit, it just gives him that chance that never was there.
Especially because I think like he would have had to dummy that to let it run onto his right foot if I was that fat. If like, you know, I gave him way too much credit that I thought he was going to dummy into it, you know? Which
Yeah, and even if he'd have dummied it, Vieira would have recovered anyway. With Vieira, you can get away with not having to completely commit because he's so big. There, by the way, don't sprint. You're sprinting with not much open space there. There's a few times already where if he'd have switched quicker with L1, he could have got the ball off you. Risky pass there. Got to be careful with those. Again, step overs. They're rubbish. I wouldn't really use them. Okay, so good switch. Good defending. Did you slide there?
can't remember.
Yeah,
I do
if
like
you
that
did,
Desiglia though.
There's probably no point in sliding there. You just best trying to do a normal tackle. Yeah, that Desilio is at the storyline.
Yep.
I play the game every day, and I've never got a level 30 player. I don't do the random objectives, but he is very good. That defending was good. So the pass here is okay. I'd have probably taken a touch that way first. When you play it like that, players do this annoying thing on the game where the only position there that Socrates couldn't get the ball was if he ran. He was there when you passed it, I think, and he does this stupid run where the only way you can't get the ball to him is if he runs there. But the AI is just stupid. They're a lot better than last year with the attacking runs, but you have to be aware of that, and that's why I'd have moved there to kind of just give you a bigger berth. You could have seen that run, and then you could have even gone back to Vieira in the middle. You get the ball back, but obviously you won't get it back most of the time. Good pass there. When you do this pass, he's doing this run again, which means De Bruyne's trying to pass it in that passing lane. What I would have said here is do a double tap pass instead. A double tap pass would have just lifted it off the ground enough that Cannavaro doesn't get the ball, and then you get in one of these positions here where you can go either way. And in that position, it's very hard for him to defend if he doesn't guess the right way. You're in.
That would be a double X pass.
Yeah, double A on Xbox.
Double A on Xbox. Oh, I don't have that in my locker at all. I've never even do that.
So just the ground pass, but you double tap, and when you double tap, it just lifts it off the ground. You know, you'll see in that pass, I'm sure.
I didn't. No, it's not. I've never even.
Okay,
messed
well,
with
basically, the double on PlayStation, it's double tap X. On Xbox, it's double tap A. It's just the ground pass, and then when you double tap it, it doesn't lift it massively. It's not like a lob pass, but it just lifts it a bit off the ground, and it bugs defenders out a lot. You don't want to do it over huge distances, over like 5 to 10 yard gaps. Quite a lot of the time, it just bugs centre backs out. They don't react to it, and then just like there, I'm certain it would have just beat Cannavaro. You can double tap wide passes as well. They're not as good generally, but sometimes they are the best option. Yeah, pretty good there. I think you slightly overcommitted this way, but you recovered, so it's fine. Okay, so here he's baited you. There, he's kind of covered, not switched early enough, but he switched enough that you can kind of get there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see him controlling that, you just have to not go for it. You're basically hoping that it glitches the defender out, and that's not really something to play for. I wouldn't have pulled Desilio the whole way there. As soon as he passes that, you want to switch to this guy and then cover him. Because now Desilio's gone. Pulls your team out.
Yeah, this one's got a lot of goals in it, this game, so I think this is a good one to learn from. And it's extra time, too.
Good defending. That was a bit of a risky pass. Good. I mean, that would have been nice if that would have gone in.
Yeah, it would have been spicy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There,
I'd have probably gone there. I don't think this is just a normal cross, isn't it? Or lob pass. I don't think normally that works, but I'm amazed it got saved, to be fair.
Oh, he was offside anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have gone back to De Bruyne personally.
Okay, yeah. I do look for that pullback a lot, but yeah. And that could have even been one of the instances where maybe I was trying to pass to De Bruyne and I'm just not skilled enough to aim it fully at him.
I don't think you was passing to De Bruyne, though, because you did a lob pass, whereas the obvious pass to De Bruyne would have been a ground pass.
Okay.
Okay, here you need to switch a bit quicker to Vieira to get Vieira here, because this is the danger area. The danger area is where you should always be looking to defend, and the danger area is always going to be a direct pass into the striker. You don't switch quick enough so he gets it to Cruyff. He messed up there. He should have turned there, and then if he turns there rather than pass it, he puts himself in a position where he can either go that way or that way to finesse, or just pass it to this guy. Yeah, your chat are probably noticing that when I do the coaching, I'm fairly brutal. But the thing is that people pay good money for the coaching, and I'd much rather give them tough love and be honest than sugarcoat things, because I want people to improve as much as possible. And just being, I'm not going to be horrible to you, but if I don't point things out and I'm too nice, people aren't going to improve as much. You know what I mean? I'd much rather give people tough love and help them the best I can. Like you'll notice, I point good stuff out as well. Good pass. I hate that it gets blocked. It shouldn't get blocked, but on this game it does. So there, I think here you could have taken another touch. I mean, it's easy when I'm pausing this with hindsight, but I think Socrates would have might have even knocked him out of the way a bit. Blanc does have that big body type though. That's good press. Okay, there you don't want to pass facing the wrong way like that. You'd got the ball in a pretty good position there, and then you've just forced it a bit quick. Good there. You positioned Vieira well, and then shifted straight to AOR. Okay, there. It's just always going to get blocked.
Yeah, I was kind of out of ideas.
I would probably dead stop fake. You know that?
Like just a fake shot stop?
Yeah. I call it the dead stop fake. I would do that, and then you could either scoop turn either way or lack of care, one of those.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge doesn't work on this side because it always does it that way. The bridge works on this side there or on that side, whereas it always does it the same animation. But yeah, that's just never going in. Pretty good press. Now I'd be switching off to get to the midfield though. Okay. Yeah, covered there. That's good. Okay, so you're a bit over the shop here. Here, you did cover there, but when he passes it here, you maybe should have got Vieira back a bit earlier, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And there, when he does this pass, you either have to switch to Smalling and go there, or follow the run with Fernandes makes, and you don't really cut it off enough. It just gives him enough time to get that. Yeah, generally speaking, defending when you CDMs is the best way to go because it means you don't end up pulling your defenders out of position. I'd always recommend people control the midfield a lot more. Here, I'm going to assume you did mean that rather than there, but you should just go backwards here. At this point, You've got to kick off. A lot of people, it frustrates when I watch it. They just run forward from kickoff and attack too quick. You just don't like. Even if this goes to Socrates, you've got all these men to beat. Which just the only way you're doing that is if the person's not very good, and if they're not very good, well, that's not the people you're trying to beat. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
no. The only time I think I've ever conceded straight from kickoff someone running at me in the last few FIFAs was those stupid kick-ups that people were doing earlier on this year. Like, they were just broken, but yeah. There's nothing. You need to go backwards, build it up, let the players get forward a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it is zombie mode. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, though.
Well, a lot of people do it as well because they get frustrated that they've just conceded and they switch off. But kickoff is a great chance to get back into the game, and a lot of people don't. I've seen lots of really good players do it. I've even seen pros do it where they just run forward from kickoff because they're not thinking, and they give up really good chances. There, don't know if you've put too much power on it. He might even be offside. But there, I'd have been looking to turn back in and go to the middle. You've got a few men here. You play the 4-3-3, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you said you like that formation. You don't really want to change it. It's one of the I'm pretty flexible on formations. I just think it's very limited in the attack. I don't think the wingers do anything in the 4-3-3, to be honest. They just sit too wide and then you don't have many options in the middle. The last FIFA that I played the 4-3-3 and liked it was FIFA 18. I played the false 9. Okay, here, instead of pulling Smalling out, let Smalling stay there. Get Vieira back. We'll go back 5 seconds. Watch Vieira and what he does. Just watch him. I only watch Vieira here. He's literally just walking. He's gone backwards, but did you see there? He had options to go there, and Vieira's just stood here not doing anything.
Even with his good work rates that I pay for on the 88.
I personally like this. Might be controversial, and I'm only giving my opinion on it. But I don't think work rates on this game do a lot. I don't think work rates mean much on this year's game. I think the player instructions override them. I feel a lot of maybe you disagree, Pug, which is fine, but I feel like a lot of people when they talk about them on like player reviews and stuff, it's just to make the player review sound a bit different. But honestly, I've watched I've probably watched more games back this year than I've played, and for me, a lot of the time, the work rates just don't do anything different. Do you know that Serginho Dest? I use his future star and had him at centre back, and he's got high attacking, low defensive. But I've had him on stay back. He stays back. I don't think work rates do a lot. Vieira is a great player regardless, but yeah, you see there, he's just stood there not doing a lot. Yeah, Waka. I don't want to see that in the chat. That's not very nice. I was in the middle of explaining something to Pugzilla, and then I was going to get back to your questions. But if you talk like that, I'm not going to answer the questions, am I? Thank you, Rusty. 4-3-2-1 is a pretty good formation in terms of to play a similar style to the 4-3-3, but more attacking. The alternative to the formation to the 4-3-3 is probably something like the 4-2-3-1, but I don't like formations on this game as much that don't have two strikers. I like having two strikers for the 1-2s that you can do. The 4-3-2-1 is probably a more attacking version of the 4-3-3 because you know how you've got a left winger and right winger in this one, Pugs, in the 4-3-3. Yeah. In the 4-3-2-1, the left forward and right forward go a bit more narrow. So they operate, they help a bit more in terms of that.
The thing, okay, so like I was thinking about how when I knew this was going to come up, right? And I was thinking about how I wanted to kind of make my case for the 4-3-3. And, you know, you're right when you say they don't provide a lot of attacking options to the left and the right wing as far as like in the final third. But like as far as like me moving the ball up the pitch really fast, really easily, if I just make one combination pass up the sideline, say in my defensive third or in my half, I can use that pace player to literally just run all the way to the line and then look to cut it in. Whereas like I can bypass all that potential traps in the midfield where I wouldn't play centrally and get found out with bad passing or bad stick skills. You know what I mean?
My counter argument to that would be you can do that in other formations. You can do that in the 4-4-2. You get a left mid and a right mid in the 4-4-2 who can do that, but then you still got two strikers to work it back in the middle. In the 4-3-3, when you've got your left winger and right winger, so isolated out wide, you only have one striker in the middle, then you have to force your midfield forward, but then you don't have a midfield. The 4-3-3, if I had to give it a strength, is that it's very good at keeping the ball when you want to keep the ball because it's got lots of width and it's got a three-man midfield. But I'll highlight it more. I'll highlight more as we go through it. But the problem is it just leaves your players isolated. And a lot of these attacks, you don't have any options in the middle. For the way I think you're trying to play, I just think there's better formations for it.
No, it's Zelonius 92, I believe, is his full Twitter.
No, my Twitter's Zelonius.
Oh, it's just Zelonius. Oh, his Twitch is Zelonius 92.
Yeah, it was Zelonius 92, and then I woke up one day and it had been changed to Zelonius and was verified. I was like, how on earth that happened? I didn't even apply for it. But do you know Fnatic?
Yeah.
I was with Roma last year and Fnatic at the same time. Like they had a partnership in FIFA. My manager I was messaging him in the group asking, how's that happened? It's weird. And he was laughing. He said, oh, he got Fnatic to do it. So I was like, oh, fair enough.
The reason I stuck with the 4-3-3 this long, though, as far as like, I made the point there on the offensive end, but also defensively, I know Vieira looked really lazy there, but having Vieira centrally, for whatever reason, I defend better with one central CDM. Does that make sense?
It might just mean that you focus on him more at keeping him back. Can be that. I think the 4-3-3 is not bad defensively. I think it's okay. I just think it really limits you going forward.
I subbed in a tall there if you didn't notice because his that Diatta was getting forward way too much. And see, this has ended up being a big thing because he moved Diatta before he even saw the substitute, before he could even do it. So he was in the stream. He was either in the stream watching that I made the Atal sub and then switched Diatta to the other side, or just by happenstance, he moves Diatta per half to the other side. So
he'll have been in the stream, but it might have been that he saw him actually and just opened the stream. Do you know what I mean? Good defending. Yeah, Wacko, I am answering questions, mate, but I'm not going to stop the point I'm making with Pug and then go in the middle to say, by the way, let's stop talking about what we're talking about here and answer questions. I came back to the questions. Here, he's just under pressure. I don't know if you've done a through ball. If you did a through ball there, then you shouldn't have. It has to be a pass to feet. I don't know, though, if it's just because he's under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look here, look, your players are already sitting quite wide. And this is probably the narrowest they get. It's just not as good a position for him to be in. Is Socrates your striker in the 4-3-3?
Yeah, he was this weekend, yep.
Yeah, I mean...
moment.
Was he not a bit clunky?
Yeah, but it's about the service I get to him. You know, if I get him to feet, you know, in the penalty area, he's gonna have the ability to turn and shoot.
Yeah, and he's got the
and his passing's really good, so I like my striker to pass well.
Fair enough. Team of the year, De Bruyne would probably do that. I play the 3-5-2 at the moment, Zoe, but I've played a lot of different formations this year. Hello, Knight. How you doing? I'm just going to ignore that wacko. All right. Okay, here.
Yeah, Knights. I see Knights. It was weird at the time because, like I said, it's always contentious when I play somebody from the chat, and I was like, I didn't think you did it on I thought you did it on purpose at first, but then I noticed if you watch back the VOD, I noticed that you did the same thing in the second half of extra time to change it when the camera angle changed. So then I was like, oh, he might have done it naturally. But at the time, it looked like hella sus. and it contributed to the toxicity of the evening because then everybody in the chat was like, "Oh, this motherfucker is like ratting out like secrets and stuff in the chat, and then is using it to beat pugs and stuff." So like, it was a huge ordeal, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even talking about if one person stream sniped or not, but I have that in my stream. How are you doing tonight? Here, I would have probably tried to turn this way again. You shoot on Puskas' freestyle weak for he's just not scoring there. Like, Puskas is never scoring that. He hits the post, but I think that was probably the best he would have done.
See, this is me losing my rag, by the way. This is me losing my rag over the fact that he switched his midfielders before he even saw my substitute. Because I thought my Atal in the midfield to try and get pace to cover for Diatta's runs, I thought that was like a 5-head play. You know, I'm sitting there like, I got this motherfucker now, you know? And then you had just, all you did was move his side, and I wasn't willing to move De Bruyne's side to the other side, so.
Yeah. Well, there, I would have done a through ball, by the way. I think you had him in. Why does no one do the free touch roulette? I think it's a good trick, but it's a complicated one for most people to do quickly and change the angle. Lacquer crickets, things like that, they're just one movement. But when you have to quickly adjust the angle and do 2 different directions, I think people struggle with that. Biggest advice you can give to master player switching. Unfortunately, player switching, there's not really much you can do other than just literally practice it. I've asked the head gameplay developer from EA to put a training game in it next year. Good goal. This was nice. Here, I'd have maybe done one more touch and then passed it because you've done a first time pass here. And when you do that, if he'd have switched as well, he could have covered it. And the first time pass generally is a bit more risky. But it was pretty good play. I like the finish there.
Oh, he's shaking as well? Oh, wow. Damn, Zell, you're even skipping my replays, bro. That's the best part of the stream. We could get some rompes in the chat. Everybody could just watch this ridiculous celebration. You're even skipping it, man.
I'm efficient. If we've got extra time in the games, it'll be a 3-hour session if I don't skip stuff. Good press. L1 or right stick. L1 around the box, right stick in the middle of the pitch. Okay, here you just dick around with the ball too long. There. Keep going that way and pass it, or turn there and pass it. But you just take too long on the ball here.
Yeah, I got kind of mugged off there.
Here, don't pull Carlos out. Get Vieira and get him back here.
So like in this situation, right? We've been in this situation a bit, right? Say I'm playing a possession rat that wants to keep the ball high with Rabiot a lot. And the only way I'm going to get the ball back is if I take Vieira and I pressure Rabiot. Or do you just suggest still dropping back with Vieira? And
you honestly don't need to, though, because it's 2-2. Your opponent's not time wasting. So many people get obsessed with pressing and trying to win the ball back quick. But the only time you really need to do that is if they're playing like a rat or time wasting, which your opponent isn't. So when you do this as well, it just allows him to get there and leaves the gap. Honestly, you just want to, as well, if you defend and get Vieira there, it's going to be hard to break down. Most people just get bored and just end up giving you the ball back. Good defending. Okay, you got to be careful here. There. You just got to try to be calm, play out the back, go that way, maybe boot the ball there. Often, one of the best ways to get out in this position is either pass the keeper or one of these guys just lob the ball to someone. Out wide is normally the safest option. Like
yeah, you actually, now that you mention it, the pros that I watch, a lot of them, like when they're playing other pros, they pass the keeper a lot.
Yeah, I'll quite often pass to the keeper and then do like a lob pass to someone out wide. But you just see here, there's a huge gap in the middle, and you kind of isolated, and you just don't really have many options in the middle. And yes, you can play out wide and go for cutbacks, but if the only thing you've really got is cutbacks, you're a bit limited in the attack. Have you ever tried the 3-5-2?
Like kind of like one of those like in the death of FIFA kind of things. Yeah.
I find it quite fun, good on this game. Lots of attacking patterns, lots of through ball options, plenty of options out wide and in the middle. Yeah, good defending.
Don't you ever forget, I got your back.
So, like for me, good finish. I mean, he should have covered this here. He should have switched there and
Fucking
just covered
heck
that.
of a rip there from Pooski Poosk. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a great finish, but here he should have covered it more because you can't turn on to Puskas' right with it being freestyle, so he should have committed more there. But what was I gonna say? It just a lot of the time when I'm doing one of these sessions, I'll say, "Oh, I should have passed there or there," but the 4-3-3, you're just not getting these options to do that a lot of the time.
Dude, thank you, Top for the gifted sub to Zelonius. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you there. Appreciate that. Gone narrow, is it?
Damn, I'm kind of salty I lost this game now. I didn't realize I was up 3-2 this late.
If someone goes narrow, then you have to really focus on defending the middle. Okay, so that don't pull Smalling here. Have Vieira and get Vieira back here. So you end up winning the ball, but he forces it stupid there. Okay, he's put the press on now, so you have to be more careful. In this position, I would do a dead stop fake and look to turn either one of these ways and probably just go back to this guy. You can't see him because your face, but on the radar is free. If I was to give one big defending tip, what would it be? Don't dive in. Stand your ground, make yourself hard to beat. Do you know that heading when you do it's manual? Wherever you head it, it goes wherever you've aimed. Like a lot of passing's assisted, but heading isn't. So there, when you head it that way, it's because you've aimed it that way. Did you know that?
Could you rewind it a bit? I was looking at the chat. I didn't see what...
So here, you win this header. You aim it that way.
Okay, I was trying to go for De Bruyne probably, yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you knew that or not. A lot of people don't actually realise it, but heading's completely manual this year.
So then does the heading accuracy not matter as much, the stat?
It does, but anyone who's got like 78 heading generally will make most headers.
Okay.
There's not much heading tips I can give, Doug, because I don't. No one at a high level plays to do lots of headers because heading's shit on the game, because crossing's not very good. But generally speaking, there's not really much skill to winning headers other than having the better player in the air. Don't put too much power on it and just make sure you aim it right. I only cross it though if I've got someone in a lot of space, or I can do a chip cross to CR7. But that's about it. Yeah, okay. You could have switched a bit quicker to small in there, but general was okay. You can put assisted heading on, but it doesn't work online. It only works offline in squad battles, I think. It's good composed play. I like how he dropped the ball to the keeper's feet. Oh, it's criminal if you've lost this game now. Puggy.
That pass right there might have been the end of it.
This is lazy. Here, go this way, and if he presses you there, there's a good chance if he tackles you, it goes out. If he presses you, you can ball roll, you can go back.
I was trying to pass to Vieira here, bro, and they forced it to Socrates, dude. Do you see Vieira coming in? I was trying to lay a Y pass in front of him and let him run onto it. You see how much space Vieira had? Yeah, I was trying to lay a Y pass, and they locked it on Socrates.
I would have just kept the ball here. I don't encourage time wasting in general, but with 2 minutes to go, you may as well just keep the ball. Let's see what you do. Okay, here I'd have quickly switched to Carlos to get him back in position.
Yep, and there he is right there out of
Go in
position.
there, then switch to Vieira, get Vieira here. Yep, don't dive in. Okay, get Vieira up. No, don't go there. Keep Vieira here. We want Patrick there. Yep, so you're all over the shop and you've panicked because Vieira wasn't there. And Vieira should have been there 5 seconds ago to cover
Yeah.
here. And then it's a good first time fake by your opponents. That's pretty good play. But it's 90th minute, which I think is a bit like kickoff here. This would have been avoidable if Vieira hadn't been pulled to there and you just kept him here. But the only thing you can do straight away here is just L1 switch instantly because he's got the indicator above him. Switch and then just step in. But you switch too late. And then it's too late, obviously.
Damn.
What the stats like.
Even game.
So, are you which one are you?
I'm the big cock, the big rooster cock.
So, I mean, 85% passing, not awful, not great. I want to generally aim for 90%. That doesn't mean pass between your centre backs till you get 90%, but it's testament to quite a few times you made silly passes that you didn't need to.
And then my last 2 subs, I subbed out Mbappe for Mane and then Salah for Puskas.
Makes sense. I mean, this pass here again is a bit forced. Here, when you're going to lose the ball, just through ball it up there straight away. Don't need to mess around with it. Again, you're just giving the ball away far too cheaply. But like I say, your only option here was to through ball there. This formation just doesn't have a lot going forward. There's a reason that no top level players really use this formation because there's what you can achieve in this formation, you can just achieve better in other formations. Like what is the way you want to play, Pug? What are the main things you want to get out of a formation?
I just feel like I'm comfortable with it now. You know, it's been 2 years since I've been using this, and it's taken me from gold 1, gold 2 to elite 3, elite 2. You know, and that's a big gap.
Is that just the formation? Is that just the formation?
I don't know. And maybe I'm not willing to find out if it's just the formation or not. But it's, you know, I was in the fucking Shadow Realm for 5 years. You know, trying every new fad that came out, and you know, switching my teams up around players instead of styles. And
I mean, here I'd have gone that way. You've gone to where someone's marked. Yeah, I don't want to like say you have to change and that's the only option, but it just will limit yourself in this formation. I'm sure you can see in a lot of these clips just how isolated your attack is. I'd be doing you a disservice if I was not saying that, giving my opinion on that. So, I mean, here he's a bit limited with a weak foot. I mean, that's poor defending. He needs to switch and cover that quicker. Good finish.
Oh, he's shaking as well? Yeah, I just sometimes with those bad weak foot guys, like I rock Salah, I rock Puskas. Sometimes it's like I'm just gonna run really fast to his strong foot, and they're gonna bet that I'm gonna stop at some point, but I'm not. You know, that's kind of how I do it sometimes.
Okay, yeah, keep getting Vieira here. Okay, don't get small and get Vieira. You're pulling Vieira up, smalling out there when you don't need to. Good. Okay, here. You should have just booted it with Schmeichel. That's better. I put plenty of like tactics and full videos on tactics and instructions on my YouTube, LFC. Was that a chip through ball?
I think it was just an X cross. I suck at crossing. Crossing and penalties, I'm tragic.
You should have crossed there. You want to cross in the box because if you don't, sometimes it does a lob pass. get there and then cross it. Just a normal cross.
Oh,
I don't
really? You got
recommend
to get in the box to get a better whip on it?
You have to get like the 18-yard in line with that.
Oh,
Generally.
okay. Yeah, that's simple then, because I had all the space there. I could have easily converted that.
I don't really cross much, but here I would have crossed because Salah's got so much space.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I just literally just bottled it by like a step or two, and I would have had a better animation.
Good question, Stone. I mean, I get the impression from what I know, because I watch your streams sometimes as well, Pug, and what you say and what you've said today. I think you want a formation that you're going to enjoy as well. You don't want to just play 4-2-3-1 boring ultra possession. You want a formation you can enjoy. But I would say probably just try like the 3-5-2. Give it. For me, I play very high press aggressive 3-5-2 and has lots of options. But I just think this formation right now, while it does have some strengths, it just leaves you so isolated in the attack. It's a struggle to break people down. Zelonius FIFA on YouTube. Okay, so now you 4-3 up. I would try control the game a bit more. The 4-3-3 is pretty good for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there you should have kept Vieira. Good switch there. Good play. Honestly, here, I spotted this straight away. You could have turned that way and then just chipped Salah in.
Mm. Yeah, because he's playing narrow, so I should probably try and look to use that more.
It doesn't matter. The narrow don't matter too much for the defending because his fullbacks are still there. But okay, again, you could have gone to Salah. This is the first time I've watched it. And I can see it straight away, like there. See what I mean?
Yeah. I'd never look for that pass either.
In the 4-3-3, you are gonna get this sometimes where the wingers get this type of position. So yeah, you need
I'll
to be.
definitely try and look for that more.
It's the same. Open. It's the same in any formation. It's the same in any formation that there's certain attacking patterns in play. One of the ones the 4-3-3 has is sometimes the centre mids get forward the occupied defender, then your wingers can get through. But you need to be aware of that and spot it. I play fullbacks at centre back a lot of the time. Colombia. I mean, body types is a whole conversation. I've got like a 15-minute video on that one, but generally speaking, I just don't want anyone who's too clunky in attack. A lot of the best players on the game, they have their own unique body types. Is he offside? Yeah. I mean, here you just got to be aware of the offside. He wasn't going to get you if you turned there. You could have just gone back. Good press. Okay. You don't need to force this first time. You have decent amount of space. Again, turn there and then through ball to Salah. Salah's screaming out on that wing. Why are you ignoring me, Pug?
I wasn't trying to, Mo. It's not my fault. I had paper hands.
Okay, again, you're pulling Smalling out. Just get Vieira there. Vieira can do what Smalling's do whilst letting Smalling stay here and doing his job. Okay. I mean, this was good, but you just mistimed it a bit. There, hold jockey, stop sprinting, hold jockey and just tackle him. But because you sprint into it and don't hold jockey quick enough, you don't cover it. Yeah, honestly, you did the right thing except for not jockey here. If you'd have jockeyed, you'd have just gone into him and got the ball. Do you see how you glide past there? You glide past, whereas if you hold jockey, you'd have gone.
Okay.
And then there, switch a bit quicker and cover it.
Yeah, that whole thing felt like, I mean, the whole thing, the pressure and stuff, and then you start moving center backs, and then you got Messi running around, and the pressure just builds, you know? And
you did it fine, though. You just didn't jockey in time. You read the play well. When I'm trying to tackle anyone, I always hold jockey. If I go up in extra time, do I prioritize scoring? I'll control the game a bit more. A lot of the time when you go ahead in extra time, people just go all out press. So I'll try use 1-2s, get around it, and I'll look to just counter and catch them out with gaps they leave. The only time I wouldn't look to score and I'd look to just time waste would be like a couple of minutes to go. Here, I'd try scoop turn it, especially with big strong players if they have the weak foot. to go either way. They've got these big body types so you can just scoop turn past people.
Mm-hmm.
Where just turning like left stick turns aren't going to be as good with Socrates because he's big and clunky. But yeah, you'd be able to do a scoop turn there. Yeah, I think Socrates, like, how many coins is he?
I think I paid like 1.45 or something for him.
It's fairly cheap, to be honest. Boring, but you'd probably just be better with like a Ben Yedder headliners there. Would just be better on the ball. But again, I don't think Socrates is getting a lot of support. Let's have a look at the pens. I mean, here you've aimed the same way the whole time. He could have read the head movement there. You know about head movement.
Yeah, I
pens,
do,
right?
but I figure he knew that I knew because I knew the opponent by now, and I was like, well, this guy's a gamer too. So he knows that I know, kind of thing, you know?
On pens, you should start there and dive there, or start there and dive there, because you would have still saved it down the middle.
Okay.
You can... Yeah, you've done it twice. When you do it twice, usually the head is probably going to start reading it. See, again, you dove that way, but if you'd have started from there and dove that way, you'd have covered everything but there, and you'd have saved it down the middle. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that would have saved you an extra penalty just using my technique straight away. You don't want to dive too early from there to there, but if you do it at the right time, you cover the middle stuff. A cheeky little technique that I have on penalties is I aim one way the whole time, but then you know the Panenka chip penalty, the L1. Do you know that penalty?
The L1, no.
So you press L1 and do about 1.5, 2 bars of power. Because if you do too little power, they'll know you're doing it. It does a chip penalty. I'll aim that way, so it looks like I'm going to go that way with my head movement, and then I'll just redirect it when I've powered it because the head movement stops, and just chip it down the middle. Just like 1.5, 2 bars of power. They'll dive and they'll just dive past it. It's LB on Xbox. Just a little chip penalty. I wouldn't do it on every pen, but yeah. I mean, yeah, it's hard to save that pen. Yeah, it's worth doing that sometimes. Fucking hell. That was a penalty. Does he win it? Yeah. You did hit Elite this weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, Elite 3. I went on a 4-game win streak at the end.
Yeah, I think I saw. Yeah. It's always harsh to lose on pens. The 4-1-2-1-2. I think the 4-3-1-2 is better. The midfield 3 worked better on that. But it's decent this year. So that game, you gave the ball away quite stupidly a lot. Lots of silly passes. You need to be more careful with that. I don't think you need to try green time penalties, really. No, I don't think it's worth the risk. You gave the ball away a lot cheaper than you should have been. That was causing you issues. What else would I have said? I always forget the end of the game, especially when it's been a long. You should have been controlling Vieira a bit more. There were still times when you was pulling your players out, he's pulling your defenders out. You need to switch a bit quicker in the box. There was that one, the first goal, where you just overcommitted with Vieira.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be careful with that, of course, not overcommitting. Like I say, personal opinion, but I think you're isolating your attack a lot with the 4-3-3. Skill moves, dead stop fakes, things like that would have worked better. Sometimes you just need to do the extra pass or an extra trick to just not force a shot that's going to get blocked. Those are the main things. I mean, there was a lot of different stuff we said in the game. Is there a way to find when and where to be using skills? Not really, Chigai. It's more just master 4 or 5 tricks, master where you think they work, and just use them a lot, and that's enough tricks to still be unpredictable. I'm gonna go check on my dog quick, Pug, before we do the next game.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's go over to the sex box for a second then. I'm almost done with the 89 rated team for that team of the month, player of the month, Messi. We're one Handanovic away from it, and I'm maybe 7K from it. So after we're done with the coaching session, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the last Silver Lounge requirements. Excuse me, the last live friendlies. We're gonna get a 100K pack and an ultimate pack for finishing off the live FUT friendlies objective. We've got 5 to do here. We need to win 5. We'll do those in the Silver Lounge. Then, depending on how I feel, we might make more progress on this, but we're 17 wins away from a 50K pack and 40 wins away from a rare mega and a hundo. Now, this will probably get done maybe off stream, maybe some other way, I don't know. Yeah, those would be nice to have for FUT birthday for sure. So it's going to be a little bit of silver gameplay after the coaching session. We've already got 29 packs saved up. We've already got 29. Thank you, Peta. Appreciate you. I hope you guys are enjoying the content tonight. It's a little bit something different. And make sure you guys do support Zelonius as well and the Gamers Class content. He's one of the guys that I've been following around this website for years, and he's a good broadcaster.
Hello. Who are you talking about there? Appreciate the kind
So
words.
this is what we got saved up. I'm gonna save the premium team of the week for next week, but we're gonna have over 30 packs, so that'll be Friday's content, tomorrow's content. I'm really hoping for a big promo. We need it. We need it as a community. We need it. We need something to get excited for. Some new cards, you know.
From what I've seen, it doesn't look the best. Is this the next game now? Against Free Kurt? Is it, or is that you?
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but he was really good too. That's 97 Prime Ronaldo, I believe.
The Moments one. Jeez.
No, the 96 then, the Prime, I think.
Is this the game though, the second one, yeah?
Yeah, that's the Prime Ronaldo, the 96. And this one we lose on pens as well.
I'll probably speed through it a little bit more, just because I'll end up being here till like 3 a.m.
Yeah, that last game took a while, so yeah, do as you please.
Normally when I do coaching as well, I'm not responding to a Twitch chat, so... But if the chat have questions, feel free to keep asking. It's fine.
He's on press right away.
Yeah, so you can straight away, you see his team just run at you like a pack of wolves. It means he's got the press after possession loss. As soon as you see that, you have to just know when you get the ball, you have to be more careful, go out wide where you've got more men. But there is a weakness to it that you can do 1-2s through balls around it. So it's hard the first time they do it because you're not necessarily expecting it. Okay, there. Don't switch defenders. Get Vieira. Get him in position. Like, look, just watch Vieira again. Everyone here, just watch what Vieira does once you let go of him. So that's your CDM, one of the best in the game. He just doesn't do anything, does he?
No, the I complain about it a lot, and I say you can't let the cheddar go under your nose there, big dog. A lot of times he does that where he'll let a pass go right past him without even responding to it, you know?
Yeah, he just doesn't. And then you give the ball away very cheaply here. Just go back down there, build it up, take a bit more time. I actually play 5-3-2 constant pressure when I'm trying to get back into a game. It's a myth, in my opinion, that the 5-3-2 is defensive, at least when you play it properly. 5-3-2 is my all-out attack tactic to get back into a game. Just get everyone to stay forward and blitz them. 5-3-2 just gets a bad name because it's got 5 back. You don't need to do a heel-to-heel here. You're already through. You passed him. Just do right stick touches to get away. But yeah, the heel-to-heel just slows you down and allows him to catch you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 5-3-2 just gets a bad name because some people play and park the bus and put everyone on stay back while attacking. But it's pretty awful when people do that.
This was this weekend, Zaid. This was this weekend league. The games were this weekend league. And I lost both on pens, but we still got Elite 3, but these were 2 tough losses. And these were actually back-to-back.
Here, throw it to this guy. Look on the radar at that space. No one's near him. You pass to Ferdinand, who's under pressure. Now he's a shit position to give it away.
Yeah, that pressure got me
Good
flustered.
defending that.
And like I said, these were back-to-back, so like I just got out of that penalty loss, and now I'm getting fucking pressed by a team with Prime Ronaldo. Like, it's like fucking no rest. No rest.
It's weekend league. Here, do a driven cross.
Oh, it's open, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It both Socrates and De Bruyne are calling for it.
Yeah, as soon as you see it there, just driven cross and whip it in. It's not as strong as it was, but it's still very good if it opens up. Like I said, only do crosses if it opens up, but there it has. Okay, there, just lazy pass with Socrates. Nothing's on really, so just keep the ball a bit more. Sometimes you just have to be patient. He's doing a 3-step roulette in his own box, jeez.
This guy was sending me messages after the game as well. He had his 15 seconds of fame.
Oh, they love it, don't they? I've had some interesting messages over the years.
Yeah, and they just want to really just kind of pimp you, So they're doing everything just a little bit extra. Just to try and fucking get you angry.
Over a year. You like me. You really like me.
Thank you for the resub, World of 24. Appreciate you, my dude.
Yeah, that penalty's stupid. Don't think you did too much wrong there. It's just bad luck. Yeah, I like the 4-3 one too. It's very attacking. It's a bit too aggressive for how I like to play, but it's good. Okay, it's another penalty. Yeah, just is what it is. It's a bit of work to do this game now. I mean, again, just silly pass. Here, you don't really want to pass to someone who's that close to you. A lot of the time when I get the ball, just go out wide. Just go out wide, build it up from kickoff like that.
And that's something that you mentioned in the first session that I'm going to look for a lot, because you said the bridge is really effective in this channel, but not in the channel closest to me on the screen, right?
The bridge, when you're attacking from left to right, works there. When you're attacking from right to left, works there. Because watch when he does it.
And he probably knew that.
Yeah, he does it there. It always goes like that. And because it does that, it doesn't work there because it sends you away from goal. But yeah, the bridge is good there. When to defend the bridge there, just back off and just run backwards, basically.
Yeah. And I'm going to be watching it in that channel now.
I would never concede that because I would just back off and not let them do it.
Yeah. And now we're down 3-0 inside of 20 to some slob.
4-2-2 base is okay, but I think it's just a worse not worse, it's just a combo of the 4-4-2 and the 4-2-3-1. The way Pug's playing, I think the 4-3-2-1 would be a better version of what he's trying to do, to be honest. Question like that, hey, to Bob, is it would take me too long to explain it, to be honest, mate. It's not me trying to keep plugging my YouTube, but I've done a video on the 3-5-2 where I go in depth about it. It'd take too long to properly explain it. Again, here's the 4-3-3 though, Pug. You've got one option in the box. This is your winger, right, Mbappe? You're just not getting enough out your wingers. You have one option in the box, and it's very hard to break decent players down without many options. That would have been a good position to bridge when you was there to just bridge past him. Because you'd have just gone that way.
I don't bridge. It's a long story. There's a lot of pain and a lot of emotion in that one.
I mean, holding yourself back a bit if you don't use the bridge. You don't have to use it loads, but just it's a nice trick to just have in your locker. I score a lot of goals with it.
I know you do. I watch you every week.
Yeah, you probably notice I score where I do it there and just hit it across goal.
You're a Sabio.
Yeah.
People throw controllers. I guarantee it.
I'm gonna assume he wasn't aiming at him. He was aiming at Socrates. You're not aiming at him. I'm
probably
sorry,
not, but he should have scored it anyway.
I can't give you credit for that one, Pug, because I don't think you was aiming there. Here, double tap pass. The double tap A, lift it above the defender and just let him get it. Because we can't play for the cross to go there for him. Did you shoot first time? That's because it's switched, and then there's not really much you can do there. What's the best formation? I don't think there is a particular formation that is the best. My favourite right now, more just because I enjoy it as well, is the 3-5-2. I think the 4-4-2 and the 5-3-2 are very good as well. I think the bridge is easier to do effectively. The directional nutmeg has more different uses, but it's harder to use efficiently. I mean, the heel-to-heel there's just not going to work. It's just too big a crowd of people. But again, you've been attacking for absolutely ages, and you... Oh, one sec.
I see the light. It's the big one. I'm having the big one. Oh!
Sometimes this pen software does it. Let me reload the pen software. That was blind me as well. Sorry, stream. Occasionally, this pen software I've got just randomly does that.
Somebody's looking at these guys' house and they think a flashbang just went off. They're like, "What the heck?"
Oh no, stun grenade. Here, you just isolate it again. You've not really got many great options. You've got 3 men in the box when you've been building up for ages. The flaws of the 4-2-3-1. The main one being it has 1 striker. The 5-3-2 has more defensive stability than the 3-5-2, but it is still a good attacking formation. Sound harsh this, but I genuinely just think people who say the 5-3-2 is a defensive formation and can't be attacking just don't think they understand the game properly. Would be what I'd say. Lob shot, yep, good. This was a great chip through ball, by the way.
Yeah, Puskas has a nice first touch too, where he doesn't slow down too bad.
I'm not sure about this roulette. I'm not sure about the roulette. It looked nice.
The flare, though, the flare.
Chip through balls as well are manual, the power on them. You have to get the power right yourself. But yeah, that was a really nice goal.
And then he's shaking as well? Oh, wow. He's very sexual, that Fernand Puskas.
I do the stop and stare celebration. If they've really pissed me off, I do the big Neymar samba dance.
I don't think those. I think those are played out, man. I don't think those trigger people the way you might think they do.
I've had some interesting messages about it. Yeah, from there. Shot there. Good.
I tell you what, the Rompe though for sure pisses people off because I see it when it actually does trigger people.
I don't think I've even seen it this year. I didn't realize it was in the game.
No, but it's a big time thing. Everybody does it against me and stuff. Like it's definitely in people's minds that
a lot of people just copy the celebration you do if you you can't shush anymore now.
How about this comeback though? We were down 3-0 inside of 20 and now we're 3-2.
Yeah, it's good. You've defended better since. I mean, yeah, you just forced that a bit. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to break down when people get behind the ball if you don't have enough options.
Do you have any tips on corners or anything? I used to play it short a lot, and I've been kind of struggling lately with getting offense from corners.
Corners, I press L1, switch to the guy to move him, or aim it there. If he moves the keeper, I'll put it back post. That's the general thing I do, yeah.
Because I get countered more than I score now on corners now. It's embarrassing how many goals I give up.
Yeah, you players, even if you put one on corners, they still leave too many men forward. Good tackle. 4-4-1-1. Just the worst version of the 4-4-2, to be honest, I think. I don't think you get as much out the centre forward or cam as you do the striker in the 4-4-2. Again, there from kickoff. Don't dick around, just go out wide, keep the ball. That cheer badge is cool. Dinosaur, I like that. Hello, think. You don't need comes for crosses and cautious for crosses, doesn't matter. It does if you don't do this, but you just press triangle to bring your keeper out, and even if he's got cautious for crosses, he'll still come. But most people don't know that. They don't press triangle, so they get beat. But if you press triangle and bring your keeper out, it doesn't matter what the trait is. So again here, just in the build-up, you just don't have many options centrally. Don't have many options, just hurting you. I think I have one from a few months ago, false stang. It'll still be relevant to using because the game hasn't changed too drastically. That's good. Yeah, you got AWA back. Is that freeze AWA?
Yeah, it is. He's great. The reason I picked him was to kind of balance the midfield because his shooting's so good.
Yeah, it was a good card. Here, you go for the through ball. One, it's on Puskas' freestyle weak foot. Don't really want to force those. And then two, he starts to move up there already, Socrates, so you can't really play it. You just have to be aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't just overcommit there. He ends up messing that up, to be honest. Not sure what he was doing. Yep, I like to call the player short. Going out wide, good. Good ball roll to protect it. Okay, you should have just passed it a bit earlier. You also could have done it here. There.
Yeah, look at how much space ours in, yeah.
Just driven past there. I was just waiting to see what you did, but... And there you just hold on to it for too long.
Mm-hmm.
That was risky. You pulled him out and he could have just through-balled it there. You don't want to pull defenders out and risk those through balls. Where'd you pass on goal kicks? 3-5-2. Just call the men short. Just call the men short and pass to whoever's in more space. Things as well, when you play these wingers, you force yourself out wide so much that if you don't beat the man to get the cutback, you don't really have anything because you have one striker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you centre mid might get forward, but you're just forcing everything out wide. And yes, cutbacks are good on the game, but you have to beat the man. Like, they are good for counter attacks as well, the wingers. But if especially when you're losing, if you're trying to break someone down and they're sat deep, and you've just got players wide and one strike, it's just not enough in the middle. It's very easy for them to just defend. There, I would have turned that way because he's probably expecting you to turn like that. Left stick dribbling, most people think there's like some mechanics to it. There's not that much. It's more just reading the opponent. I would have turned that way to try to throw him off. And by the time you do, it's just a bit late.
Yeah, I thought I had him there, and then I thought I had a pen too. Thought he kind of trotted on me a bit there.
It's one of those, I think sometimes it would give a pen, sometimes it wouldn't. It was good defending. I'm going to skip ahead a bit more because we've still got extra time to get through.
Yeah, I can't remember what the extra time score is. I think it might go to pens at 3-3. So I think there's one goal and then there's nothing in extra time really.
He's baited you there. You can't really lob that there with Puskas. 4-star weak foot probably, but a 3-star weak foot's just a bit meh. Okay, here you've got I was about to say switch over there. He's got a bit of an overlap. Okay, good cover. What do you do here? So this is good. I like the ball roll. The pass is good. Stop sprinting. Maybe here you sprint, and when you sprint, it makes you take heavier touch. My rule on sprinting is when you're defending, sprint to catch people. When you're in attack, sprint only if there's a big open space. By the way, the chat can't see this, but look at that pose, Puggy. Hide your camera.
Should I show him?
Yeah.
Let me take out the...
Your eyes have lit up there.
The cutback, the sweat tramp was about to get paid off there.
Eyes have absolutely lit up there. But you sprint, you make the mistake, you go straight into him. Here, we'll go back a little bit. Back to the moment of when he gets excited. I love that pause. Here, you should have just passed back.
Yeah, that reverse would have been nice. It would have been close to onside, but
no, he would have been on. Yeah, he's overcommitted with his fullback. You could have scored by just going back. I always wonder how many good little freezes of our faces you could get when we're playing FIFA. I'm not sure why he's dicking around with the player runs. He really is trying to show off for the stream here, isn't he, with these skill cancels?
I know. And then of course when they beat you, it's GG. It was no big deal. But when they lose to you, nowhere to be found in the chat. Never.
I had one guy who's a pro player in England. Good player, but a bit of a dick. Play me and he stream sniped me in Rivals, and he went 1-0 up and was just spamming rainbow flicks, elasticos, sombrero flicks, just anything. I knew what he was doing, and I knew he'd snipe me, so I just stayed very calm. And he just time wasted, did this the whole game. And I was like, what is this guy doing? And then after the game, he beats me by 1 goal, just time waste, and just comes into my stream after the game and messages me in the stream and just says something like, GG, bro, what a great game. Just keep trying and maybe you'll get there next time.
What a dick.
I was obviously thinking a few choice words. I just didn't really respond because I was like, I know he just wants me to buy.
It really is just to turn the other cheek is the only way to really do it. But man,
I beat him a few weeks later 4-0 and just messaged him saying, GG, bro, keep trying and you'll get there. And I didn't get a response.
It's so competitive over there with you guys. I mean, it's just unreal. I was seeing the conversation around the Premier League and the top 8 don't even get paid or something. It's unreal.
It's a disgrace. The esports a bit of a joke in terms of that. EA kind of abandoned it this year, but that's a whole other topic. Here, it was a good block by him. I get why you went for it. Oh, jeez. What? He missed.
I know. He missed. I don't know how. I don't know how.
If I'm being super fussy here, you should have finessed it. I mean, I completely get when you've just won the ball out of nowhere and you didn't expect this. You've just spammed shot.
Yeah,
I probably would have as well. I think a finesse does go in, but
yeah, I didn't have the diamond hands there. I totally didn't expect to win the ball back. I was free in the middle. It was a tap in.
It should go in anyway. It's easy with hindsight for me, but I think the finesse would have, but it should have gone in regardless.
I think I go 3-3. We can skip to the pen shootout after I equalize, but because I do, I got a little bit of insight with your pens to start off center a little bit, but other than that, I don't really. I mean, I could use any type of insight on pens because, like I said, I've been losing those pretty consistently.
That's the problem again. Generally speaking, here, this is why one, don't want to have to start so out wide because you have to cut in, but 2, you want players with better than 3-star weak foot because you're just so predictable. It's just obvious what you want to do with Salah there. It's not like real football where Robin and Messi are that good at dribbling they can cut it onto the left. You just can't do that on FIFA. At least once you get to a good enough level. That was a good through ball. You timed that well. Nice. Good goal. The through ball timing there was perfect.
Yeah, and that was one, if you were coaching him, he was using his center backs for no reason and let me have that area.
There's no issue here. Like he should have actually controlled his centre back and marked.
Well, but
there.
look at what he did with Davies, though. He played that whole area onside, you know?
Yeah. But he could have marked it quicker anyway. But he didn't keep the shape properly.
And then they're shaking. Oh, they're grabbing as well.
So
I think it goes 3-3 all the way to pens. Which is a nice comeback because I was down 3-0 if you remember.
Yeah, you've done well, especially after you just lost a game. But you started off giving the ball away cheaply, I think, and just diving in and giving cheap goals away early on. So it's just a lesson, like, don't let that happen in a game where you chase a game. Like, if you've lost on pens here, you really need to. Here was a really good chance, by the way. Again, there, you have to wait for him to get there, and then probably like go there and then double tap over the defender. I think would have worked. So Colombian dude said that the community has a lot of rats. Every competitive video game has a community full of people like that. It's just competitive stuff brings that out of people. I played a lot of League of Legends in the past. You know that game, Pug?
Yeah, I do enjoy watching it. I've never played it myself, but I watch a couple streamers, the smaller streamers play it.
I was pretty good at it. I got to like Diamond 4 on it. Yeah, some of the messages I saw on there, like, jeez.
Yeah, and there's like, it's weird because there's no like direct communication really with people. Like, you know, like, I mean, you can send messages in the chat and stuff, but like, you can't hear my voice or anything. I don't know how it gets so toxic all the time. Every game it feels like is super toxic.
Oh yeah. Again, like here, you only have 2 options most of the time. You're not getting enough options to break people down. And when you get to the elite matchmaking, you're trying to break people down, it's just very hard if you don't have any options. Do you know what I mean? You end up struggling to break people down because when you get to these positions, it's just like, well, what can you do? Because you've not got anyone in a good position. Good defending. Do you sprint jockey, by the way?
Yeah, I jockey a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but do you sprint and jockey?
I think. I don't know for sure, but I think I do.
Yeah. In the box, generally speaking, I only jockey rather than sprint jockey. I think sometimes you sprint jockeying, it's putting you in positions where you're getting caught out a bit because your players kind of glide past them a bit. So be careful with that.
Patrick is such a beast. That tackle to win the ball was so class.
Yeah, he has that hitbox. I feel like you cross it a bit too much sometimes where it's just hit and hope. Like, yes, it nearly comes off, but like crosses just don't lock on very well. They don't work that consistently. You'd be much better, in my opinion, dead stop fake and doing a scoop ton or a la cricket and trying to work a guaranteed chance rather than just hoping the cross works.
Yeah, that dead stop. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like 30% effective, and then a 30% you give the ball away no matter what because they're just going to jump you, and they're not going to honor the fact that you're.
If you dead stop it and time it right, you don't really give it away,
okay.
And it allows you to kind of reevaluate the situation and see where everyone's at. If anyone wonders why I'm just skipping ahead, it's because if we hadn't skipped ahead of this game, it'd have ended up being 2 hours. It's nearly 3 a.m. in UK. Yeah, get Vieira. Don't pull Rio there. Get Vieira. Keep him here. Good cover though. You did well. I mean, just play it short. No point in booting it long. You've been playing it short most of the time. Just giving the ball back and giving him the ball where you didn't need to. It's not like you probably see like real football a lot of the time from kickoff. Teams go backwards and just boot it up the pitch just to get it up the pitch. But it's not like real football where just getting territory out the pitch matters a lot. It's one of these where on FIFA, if you give the ball away, you might not see it for 10 minutes, which is a long time on FIFA, obviously, whereas real football, you'll get it back within the next minute generally. It's only 12-minute game, so you don't want to give the ball away cheap. Okay, he's put the press on here, so you have to be careful with it. Is that moment, Deco?
Yeah, it is the moment's deco, yep.
Okay. Here, keep the ball, don't force the pass yet. And you see this run he makes?
Yeah. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell in real time. Just playing that formation for like 2 years, it's hard to tell if they're on side at all times. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's not here though.
Yeah, I know he's not, but I'm saying like I look sometimes and then I look away because I think he's going to be offside. And anyway,
yeah. I mean, here though, it's just you force this pass when it's not on, and this is where you just need to delay it a bit and give you
Mane could have used the ball there.
You give your players chance to make runs for you. And like here, you could have gone there and just through balled it to Mane and you'd probably scored.
Yeah.
You don't give your players chance to make the option for you because you force the pass too quick.
I feel like I'm leaving some goals on the pitch with the 4-3-3. I feel like yeah, I might be a little isolated in the box, but I feel like there's a couple chances to like fluidly go from midfield to goal scoring with some of these wingers that I'm not picking them out.
What I would say is that for the counter attacking and stuff, it can be pretty good. And there's times where you're not picking the passer. Like that Puskas one you got. He did the roulette into the chip through balls. Amazing. That was really good. And the 4-3-3 can be good for that. But whilst it is good for that, and you are missing some of these runs, the 4-4-2 or the 3-5-2 or the 4-3-2-1 can all get these counter attack run ones where you play people through. But then when you're playing someone who just gets men behind the ball, you're really struggling to break them down. I don't think you'll disagree with this, but you're not the best at doing tricks. You don't do the bridge. You're not doing the dead stop into scoop turn. And when you don't have the best tricks, it's going to be hard to break someone who just parts the bus down. So you need runners, options, players you can do 1-2s with. And the 4-3-3 doesn't have that centrally. So, and when you start to play better people, which as you're trying to get elite and move up the ranks, you're really going to struggle if you struggle to break them down when they've got all these men and you're isolated. Good players aren't going to let you just counter-attack them all game, are they?
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
Good players aren't going to let you just counter-attack them all game and give these easy through balls. And if you go down against a good player, they're going to put men behind the ball, not dive in, be hard to beat. And if you do that, then when you've isolated in the middle, it's just going to be very. I don't think the chat like what I'm saying here, but
no, it's you feel free to speak your opinion always, man, because you're the expert.
I'm not the oracle of FIFA, but I know for sure that the 4-3-3 and what I'm seeing without doubt is just a struggle to break good players down in it.
Yeah.
That's what I tried it this year. Like 4-3-3 is the most common formation in real football. So it's stupid that it's not effective on FIFA. It should be effective on FIFA. I don't get why it's so bad. Well, I do get why it's so bad, the reasons I've said, but it should be a lot better. But the problem is that because it puts players out wide, players are so isolated in the middle that the only way you can get any options in the middle is your centre mids to get forward. But then when they get forward, the balance of the midfield's gone and you just get counter attacked. Yeah, that's the exact thing. The wingers are on an island. That's the problem.
I think this one I choke a 2-pen lead too, by the way. So
ouch. I mean, they put a bit too much power on it. I just like the 3-5-2 for the attacking options, Earth. Yeah, I think from what you've said, Pug, that you're giving the 4-3-3 a lot of credit for your success, whereas I don't think for the most part, I think formations hurt people more than they help them, in the sense of using the best formation isn't going to change your game drastically, whereas using a bad one can hurt your game drastically. And I think it'll be more likely that you've just improved a lot of the game.
Maybe.
At the very least, I would say just give something like the 3-5-2, the 4-3-2-1, 4-4-2 a try. And it might be short-term pain for long-term gain. It might be short-term pain for just pain and it doesn't improve you, but at least you've given it a try. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you find it just works better for you. I don't know. I've not used the 5-2-1-2 really, but I like the 5-3-2. It's good.
And somehow I bottle this. I saved 3 of his fucking pens out of 4, and somehow I bottle this. Fucking hate my life, man. Damn. Could have got Elite 2 if I would have won these 2 penalty shootouts.
I mean, there, you've aimed the same way the whole time, and he's been diving. He's been diving the way of your head movement every time. So I wouldn't have aimed one way the whole time.
And then I bottle this, of course. Kevin De Bruyne, he's probably got 99 penalties. Somehow I bottle this.
I would just aim one. After you've... Like, I would have spotted, and by now he's just going wherever you move your head. Move your head here, and then just do a chip penalty down the middle with LB.
Ugh.
Penalty, though. Bit too much power on it, though. You got to be careful with that. Oh, he's got Penandas now. Jeez. That was a risky one for him. Is this the moment of truth?
Yeah, I think this is it. I think I go the same way.
You've aimed the same way. Does he dive? Yeah. Well, you've changed it. No.
Oh, maybe
not.
not.
About to say, yeah. He dived the way your head movement was, though. He keeps doing that.
I should have picked up on that.
Yeah, it's just something to look out for. If anyone's wondering what I'm on about with the head movement before you power a penalty, whichever way you aim, you can see the head moves that way. Again, dive from there to there or there to there, and you save that pen using that technique. So look now, Smalling's head's slightly tilted that way. The more you aim that way as well, the more you can see. Oh, he actually did dive the opposite way. It's the first time he's done it. Maybe it's because he saw you did it on the last pen. But do you see how he used that technique? Watch how he moves to the side then. See? He does that. And he still saved it. The only way you don't save it, if you step to the side then dive, is if it's like there. But most people are too scared to go for that in a penalty shootout. So it works very well.
Especially with a center back. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's definitely really a good tactic when they got a Conte up there, they got a fullback up there or something.
Yeah, because a lot of people aim near the middle or just to the side of the middle, so you can cover 2 options rather than 1. Yeah, we'll start with defense, keeper, goal kicks. Keep going short. Don't boot it long for no reason, especially with someone like Salah. Go out wide with your keeper, generally. If it's marked out wide and the only option central, yeah, go central. But never risk going central when it's marked because you just end up giving it away cheaply. I think you can see the goal that game. Do you remember when Ferdinand got tackled?
Yeah, cool, dude. Well, thank you so much. Can you remind the chat where they can find you, Zelonius, and the different services that you offer? Can you remind them one more time before you head to bed?
Yeah, Zelonius92 on Twitch, Zelonius on Twitter, Zelonius FIFA on YouTube, and then I work for Gamers Class. We offer coaching service on there. I think it's launching Saturday. I'm not certain on if it's 100% Saturday, but yeah, we're launching that in the next week, so it's pretty exciting.
All right, well, thank you a lot, man, and get some rest, dude. I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Do you have any questions you want to ask all the chat before I go?
Or? I don't really have anything. I mean, I had many of my questions answered. If anybody else had anything, though, feel free to ask. For sure.
No, you can't alter your penalty takers, unfortunately. Yeah, if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them quick before I go.
Again, Zelonius has his own channel and stuff, and a lot of his YouTube videos are based on getting you better at FIFA or helping you understand different things about why things happen and what you can potentially do to get better. So check out the YouTube, check out the Twitch. He is based in the UK, so it would be more during the daytime US that you'll find him. I know most of my viewers are from the US, so if you guys are up during the day or maybe at work and you're bored and you want to see if he's live, go check him out for sure.
Well, I'll catch up with the questions quick. But yeah, I appreciate the kind words, Pug. I like Figo. Figo's good. I wouldn't use the 5-4-1. I think you're trolling me there, though. 4-2-3-1 is good, but I prefer other formations. I do the coaching. It's on Gamers Class if you want to check that out, John. I prefer the 4-3-1-2 to the narrow, but they're pretty similar. If there's one tactic that is universal tactics, I just use balance generally for most, if that's what you mean. Body types is too long a question, really, to go in depth on, but I just don't like body types that turn very clunky in game. Someone like stocky, like Lautaro Martinez, things like that. You want players who turn quite well. Neymar is a great example of that. Makalele and Kante, I think Kante edges it. Narrow diamond, good, but the 4-3-1-2 is better. Yes, Zambrotta would. No, inform Neymar's not a big upgrade. No, I think that covers it, but I appreciate you having me on, Pug. It was nice chilling.
No worries, and hopefully we got some big content tomorrow with the FUD birthday. I'll see you soon, and if everybody else wants to stick around, we're gonna do some gameplay on the channel right now. So thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, have a good one. Have a good stream. See you, boys.
Yeah. But with Zelonius, ladies and gentlemen, I thought that went really well. So again, he does classes like that for gamers class. If you guys are interested, he just had a new video drop of his master class where he talks about in-depth stuff like that. And of course, he's got his YouTube channel and his Twitch channel where he talks about different things too. So hey, check him out if you want to hear more